Okay, let's start off with a brand new template. So in SketchUp, if we go new from template, and I always recommend plan view millimeters with a white background. So no, this is a brand new template. Looking down on it now, the tools that we have. If you put your cursor over the tool ribbon along the top here, do a right click. You've got a whole selection of toolbars that you can bring up. For just now, we only really need the large tool set. I can then move that over and dock it. I'm going to dock it vertically. There we are. Excellent. Now, to move around in this workspace, we can use the mouse and we can use the little wheel on the mouse. If you press the wheel and hold it in, you can actually do a spin type movement, and you can also drag. It's quite nice. Okay. Now, the first tool we're going to use is the pencil tool. I'm going to select something at random. And you can see here I can draw my line anywhere I want, and it's doing random things. However, I can force it to go on various axes. If I press the right arrow key, it will go on the red axis only, which is perfect. Or the left arrow key, it will go on the green axis. Or the vertical arrow key, it will go on the blue axis. Now on this occasion, I'm going to select the right arrow key for the red axis. I'm going to come along 31500 or 31.5 meters, but I'm going to do it all in millimeters, of course. Press escape. I can then zoom in by using the wheel on the mouse. Just roll it forward. I can zoom in. Roll it backwards. I can zoom out. Or if you're on a Macintosh, it's the opposite way around. Perfect. Excellent. So I just zoom in with the pencil key still selected, and you can see that I snap on. It snaps on automatically if I hover near the end, press my button. Oh, actually I've not done that correctly. Do that again. Go in. It snaps on, but it then goes black, and now it goes green. When it goes green, that's me actually snapped on. So when it's green, I come up and I'll press the up arrow key. On this occasion, I'm going to go 12 meters, 200. So that's 12200. Zoom out. And I'll come a similar thing along here. I'm going to snap on, go up vertical. I'll go 7 meters, 500 or 7500. Excellent. My elevation starts to take shape. I'm going to draw some temporary lines just now. You snap on to the very end, come across on the red axis. I'll press the right arrow key, and I'm going to come along to the end. That's fine. Now I want to do some sizes, so I'm going to use this dimension tool. I'll come along on the red axis, 1500. I'll do that from both sides. 1500, and what I'll do is I'll use the pencil tool. I'll draw a line from here to here on the red axis. Excellent. Now I'm going to select that line that I've just drawn. Now obviously what I've been doing is I've been deselecting things. So I can deselect by selecting off everything, and it will deselect, or I can press escape. Okay, cool. So I select it, the line that I've just drawn. I'm then going to hover over it and then right click, then press divide. I'm going to divide it into 4 segments. I'm going to just delete a couple of these elements that were divided so I can see where my segments are. And I'll just do that just now. What did I do there? Right, what did I do? I used the tape measure tool, snapped onto the end point, and I pulled up, and I used the up arrow key. I'm just projecting up temporary construction line. These lines will be very helpful in a few seconds. And then I'm going to come along to this construction line here. I'm going to take a pencil tool, snap on here. I'm going to come up again on the up arrow key of the blue axis and type 600 millimeters. Perfect. And now what I want to do is to start to draw my roof. My roof, I'm going to use the arc tool. We use this one here. There are several arc tools we can use. I'm going to put my cursor down to this point down here. It's automatically snapped onto the green axis, which is perfect. However, I can force it onto the red, the blue, or the green axis. I'm going to go up to the top of there and bring it down. Now, on this occasion, I would like it at 45 degrees. I could eyeball it. You can see that the bottom right hand corner down here, it'll show you the angle. So I could eyeball it to roughly 45, or I could just type in 45 and it forces it to 45 degrees. Now I then go do the exact same thing again for the opposite side on the green axis, bring it up. But this time I am going to snap it by eye. I'm going to snap it. You can see here that intersection. The radius intersects that horizontal line. I'll stop there. Perfect. Now, at this point, I need to remove these lines because the lines are no longer going to help me anymore. Take that line away. And I may as well take this line away as well. May as well remove this one. Oops. So I'm finding it difficult to select the line that I want to remove. So if I do a fence, which is press the mouse button and drag down, everything that I touch will be selected, which is not what I want. But if I go from the opposite side, if I go from the left and drag to the right, only the things that I fully enclose within my fence will be selected. And we see I've just got that item there. Press delete. Perfect. Now, if I select my arc tool, this is a problem. Okay, I'll show you the problem. Now I've made my two arcs, because they've now joined automatically as one, because I just removed that vertical line that I shouldn't have removed. If I try and stretch this, so when I say by stretch, I select it, press the stretch command, it's going to stretch out of shape from what I intended. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z. I'm going to put my line back in, so I'll press the pencil tool. I'll snap on and come down. Hopefully that'll break up my arc. It does, perfect. My arc's now rebroken into two parts. I'm going to select the right component first, press stretch. I'm going to stretch it from this handle here all the way out to the end. Then I'm going to select that bottom one and bring it down. Absolutely perfect. Deselect everything. I'll go back to my other arc that I have. I press stretch again and bring it along and snap it on to the end. Now I can draw my fence over and delete that vertical line. Perfect. We now have something that I was intending to have. I remove this line here. Excellent. Now we're not quite there yet. We notice these are just a collection of lines, there's no surface created. Now, a quick way to make that into a surface is to grab the pencil tool, assuming that all of your corners are physically connected and touching. This should work. If I draw a line, or make a line anywhere within that shape, just the one line, it will convert that into a surface. At this point here, we can start to move a little bit further forward. I'm going to select the surface. I'm then going to use this offset tool. And I'm going to select inside that surface and drag. Now I'll then type 500 for 500 mil, press enter. and we now see we've got an offset of 500mm in the way. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entirety of that, excluding the construction lines, and we'll remove these lines just now as well. So I want the entirety of it, but not the construction lines. They're all selected. I'm going to right click. I'm going to make group. That's now made as a group. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to want to do is I want to start making the vertical support. So what I'll do is if I just draw a new line, I'm going at random, and I'm going to come out on the green axis, which is the left arrow key. I'm going to type in 2100 or 1 meter, 2 meters 100, enter, and then I'm going to come snap onto the end. I'm going to come down with the up arrow key, down 300 millimeters, enter. At this point, I'm going to use the rectangle tool. I'm going to snap from corner to corner. And I'm going to use the push tool. And push tool here. Select that surface. I'm going to come along 500 millimeters, 500, enter. And at this point, I'm going to select that entirety of that object. I'm going to right click over it and go make group. Perfect. Now I'm going to select that object. I'm going to press, I'll select the object. Then I'm going to press M for move. However, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to try and find the midpoint of here. And it says midpoint of in group. And it's snapped on. I'll press the button and I'll move it. And I'm going to snap it on. I'll do the tallest one first. I'm going to do this one here. In actual fact, let's just do all of them. I'm going to press M, enter, M, and I'm going to press Control to keep the original one there. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to snap on. Press Control again, intersect, snap on, press Control again, always keep the originals where it was. Let's do that again. I'll select this, press M, get that midpoint, press Control, snap, press Control, snap. Perfect. Oh, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select probably the tallest one here. I'll use this one here for the starting point. I want to take a pencil tool. I'm going to select this bottom corner here. I'm going to press the vertical arrow key. I'm going to come down to this point. I'm then going to come out on the green axis, 300, enter. And then what I'm going to do is do some temporary lines. I'll take from this point, come down as well on the vertical axis, and I'll snap it on to there. Right, that's the temporary line just now. I'm now going to use, again, the same arc tool as before. I'll snap on that corner, but I'm going to snap it onto the red axis this time. So by pressing the right arrow key, I'm going to draw out and snap to the end of that line that I just drew. And then I'm going to draw up the full 90. So snap it on to 90 degrees. I'm going to select that arc press S for reshape or stretch. Sorry, do that again. Stretch it up and snap it on up here. Absolutely perfect. I can remove that line, take it out of the way, and now obviously this isn't a surface yet because, just to demonstrate, I don't have a line joining that there. So if I draw a line, that should turn into a surface. Perfect. Now at this point here, I'm going to select that surface and use the push and pull tool. I'm going to push it. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to push it until it snaps on here. Excellent. Now, what I can also do to make it a bit more interesting, I'm going to use, I'll select that surface. I'm going to use the offset tool again. I'm going to come in 160, 160 mil. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that both sides. Select that. Offset tool. 160. And I'm going to use the push and pull tool again. So select that surface. Push and pull. I'm going to go in 160 mil. Select this one in 160 mil. Which is quite nice. Now, if I just select that again, select all of that. However, I don't want to select, so I'm going to press the Shift. I'm going to press the Shift key and deselect that piece at the top. Now I've got all of that selected. If I just go right click and make group. Now, if I'm going to just paste this over, I'm going to press M. I'll select that bottom corner. Press Control to keep the original there. I'll snap one there. I'll do the same again. I'm going to put them everywhere at the moment. On all of these, where the columns are going to reside. Now, what we'll find is obviously that's not correct. So I'm going to select that, press S. I'm going to use that bottom pull point, pull it up, and snap it up to here. And I'll do the exact same with all the rest of them. Up to here. I'll just fix this one as well when I'm at it. Bring it up. At this point, I can remove these construction lines. I'm no longer going to need those. Excellent. Now, if I just press select the whole thing, move, keep the original, and then for this one, just temporarily get rid of all this stuff that we just drew. Although we're not losing it, we still have them. And what I'm going to do is select this. Now, because it's a group, I want to edit it, but I'm not in the edit mode for this group. So if I double click, I'm now within the edit mode of this group. I can now select the various surfaces or the various arcs or lines. But here I'm going to select that middle surface, I'm going to delete it. I'm now going to select that outer surface. I'm going to push and pull that, push and pull. I'm going to pull it along, what distance? 24 meters for 300. I'm going to come out. Excellent. So my building's starting to take shape. If I go back into this one, I'm going to edit this one. So into the edit mode, I'll do that again. Select the object. So select, I can't edit it. If I double click, I'm now in the edit mode. This occasion, I want to just delete that outer the outer part and only leave the inner part. So we can see all of that's disappeared. Now, I'm going to select the inner. I'm going to push and pull that. I'm going to push it away from me. I'm going to push it to 200 mil, 200, enter. Excellent. Now, if I select the entirety of that, and well, actually, whilst we're here, what we could do, we can make it a little bit easier. If I pencil, I take the tape measure tool, like that bottom surface, and if I go up on the up arrow, if I go at 2 meters 700, and let's do another one. Let's go up. No, that'll be fine. 2 meters 700 is fine. And what we'll do is we will take a pencil tool, go in there, snap on, and then in there, red axis, so press the right arrow key and snap on. I can then come out, I'll press the green arrow key and I'll snap on there. I'm then going to use the rectangle tool, snap on there, and I'll snap on over here. And then why don't I use the arc tool? But this one we'll use a different arc. We'll use this 2-point arc tool. I'll snap on to the end of that rectangle, so there, and the opposite side there. On this occasion, I'm going to pull it out on the green axis. So I'll press the green, which is the left arrow key. I'm going to pull it out just to add distance. I can really eyeball it, that'll be fine, like that. And I can then remove that line here. I can delete that. If I select that surface, push and pull, and I pull it up. If I pull it up, I don't know, let's do it, say 300 just now. See how it looks. And then hover out. That looks not too bad actually. I'm going to select all of that. Again, I'm going to go from the left to the right. So I'm only going to select this part we made. Right click over it, make group. Excellent. I'm going to take this construction line and remove that as well. I can also put a door perhaps in this elevation. How do I do that? I'm going to select the surface. Not in the edit mode yet. What we can do though is we could put let's put some construction lines in. We want the midpoint, don't we? So we'll go edge to edge, red axis, and then we'll snap in the middle. That'll be fine just now. Right. I'll select that surface again, but this time I'm going to go into the edit mode of that surface. There we are. We're now in the edit mode. I can select the actual surface. I can now draw some construction lines here. Come along, we'll go 1 meter. And then we'll go here, 1 meter. And we'll go up the way. The height of the door, 2200 by the time you've got all the openings. And then we'll go rectangle tool. Let's go corner, corner. I'll select that surface. You see what I've done there? And I'll push and pull that, and I'll push it back all the way and let go. And I've now created an opening in there. Let's delete the things we've just created that we don't need. Go in there, edit, remove those lines. Perfect. Now we have that elevation. You can now do, select that, and I'll make it into a group, why not? Make it into a group. And then press M for move. I'm going to select this corner here. I'm going to paste it right there, and then I'm going to move it in the way, 1 meter 200. So move, I'm going to go on the green axis, 2 meters 100. And we've got that starting to take shape. What I can also do, I can also select that. I can use this mirror tool, or a flip tool it's called. If I press Control, I'm not going to just flip the object, I'm also going to keep the original where it was. I'll move it on here, and I'll flip it there. Zoom back in, select that, press Move, go in, and I'll move that in also. 2 meters 100 on the green axis. 2, 1, 2, 0, enter. So our auditorium's definitely not finished yet, but we're starting to see the basic shapes of the auditorium starting to come together. I'm going to select all of that and make that into a group just now.